Yeah, I know what time it is. Professor Arsenal is back. I've been back in like 4 weeks, but I'm back here with some draft prospect stuff. As you guys know, it's easy to talk about, of course, the top guys who go in the first round and second round, and Ime Bukas, the Travis Hunters, and different guys who are going to be around those top picks that I like a lot. But I want to find guys who like in the third round, fourth round, fifth round, sixth round type guys. So sleeper guys may not be the biggest names in college right now, maybe not the biggest schools as well, but they have some potential, I think, by watching their film and stuff. So I always look into some of those guys on the draft board, guys who are going to be predicted to go like later round, third round, fourth round. You might find some gems, so that's always fun to look at and dive into. So in today's video, we're doing that again, part 2 of the last one I did. So we're looking at more sleeper prospects for the Steelers to draft in the 2025 NFL draft. So hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you like it. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Okay, my first prospect is Barrett Carter, linebacker from Clemson. He's 6'1", 230 pounds, ran a 4.5 in the 40. And when I was watching some of his film, his highlights, he's just a guy who came off my screen a little bit. I heard his name a little around. It's always good to find linebackers from Clemson. I had a big love for Trenton Simpson. He's on the Ravens now too, but I wanted the Steelers to draft him a few years back because he's a guy who's versatile, can get on the sideline, kind of remind me of Ryan Shazier a little bit the way he played. But I like this guy right here, Barrett Carter, a lot. He's very athletic. What I got from watching him, he had good speed for his size, about 235 pounds. Good speed and an all-around type of linebacker because I seen him play in coverage. He was been sitting in zone coverage. He played man-to-man, sometimes on tight ends as well, on running backs. And he also played very physical, but he also was disciplined as well. I seen that a lot. He was he'd be physical enough, but not getting penalties where he's like getting leg hits or anything like that. He was a guy who's able to engage, but be disciplined, have the IQ to know, okay, I'm gonna sit right here, be patient. I'm gonna get through the gap to get to the back in the backfield, or tackle for loss, or I'm gonna sit right here in the zone. Then I'm gonna break off the zone and try to break off on there, try to make a pass, break up against a receiver or against tight end who was coming through the zone area. So he was very smart and kind of all-around type guy. And as you guys know, the Steelers have, of course, Peyton Wilson, and we got, of course, Atlanta Roberts, and of course Patrick Queen, who's the all-pro, who's the starter. And Peyton Wilson kind of got himself to the starting spot as well. Atlanta Roberts is a good player too, but he's a little older, getting a little older and older. So it won't hurt to add another linebacker to that room. I think Barrett Carter would be a nice linebacker. The Steelers always find a way to add linebackers. They always been known for having the edge rushers, the linebackers and stuff, and making things happen. I think he'd be a nice guy because he can do a lot of different things. He can set the edge, he can blitz in and play the run, he can play the pass as well and cover, sit in zone, man-to-man coverage. He's one of those versatile pieces. And nowadays, a linebacker gotta be like that. The Fred Warner's amazing player, all pro, but a lot of linebackers got to kind of model their style after that type of play style because the way the tight ends have played and the running backs are kind of like receivers now, and they're doing so much out the backfield and so much in the line of scrimmage. You got to be ready to kind of be able to guard and sit in different coverages. So I think he's one of those guys who kind of fit the mold of the next new era, the new generation of linebackers. So he's a nice piece. I think he'd be a nice addition to the Steelers team. So I had him first on my prospect list. Now let's move on to the next one on my list. The next guy, of course, on my list is, of course, Samuel Brown. Samuel Brown is a nice piece. I think he's going to be a very interesting individual because you look at the way he's set up. 6'2", 195 pounds. I think he'll get stronger when we get to the next level. He ran a 4.4 as well. 4.4 at that size too as well. Explosive. He's good on the yards at the catch. When I was watching, he'll get a ball. He'll break some tackles. He's not afraid of contact either. I love receivers who are physical, not scared of contact. We're not scared to put a stiff arm on somebody or put their head down and try to run somebody over. He's not afraid of contact. He's a versatile route runner as well. He ran routes from the slot, very effective, and on the outside. When you have a guy like that, it's very good, especially the way our offense is kind of set up now with Arthur Smith. Have guys going in motion, doing different things around. Having a guy who has the speed, can come from the slot at that size, open up so much more as well and get open, and also on the outside as well too, open up a lot for the offense. He's one of those type of like sizable QB targets, those guys who are just quarterback friendly. He get there to the next level, he finds his quarterback. I'm not saying Larry Fitzgerald, but like Larry Fitzgerald play style, how he's a guy who's always there. Like you need third down, you're looking for Larry Fitzgerald. Des Bryant type as well. You're looking for Des Bryant, third down, boom, third down, boom. He's one of those guys that kind of stay consistent and be a consistent playmaker to move the sticks, move the chains, and one of those guys could like help you like open up so much more in your offense because his route running is very exceptional. So he'd be a nice addition to add, I think, to the Steelers team. As you guys know, the Steelers have Mike Williams. I don't know if Mike Williams is going to be here next season. The Steelers barely using him now. He only got one target thrown to him for a touchdown for 32 yards on that game against Commanders. But we're going to see exactly if he kind of, they mentioned that he was injured at one point, and they said he's back now or some things that was happening. So we'll see if Mike Williams is still on the team next season. But adding a guy like this, 6'2", 195 pounds, will probably get bigger, of course, to the next level. who's a playmaker, who's a big route runner as well, who's not afraid to of contact and who's physical and stuff. I think that'd be a nice addition to add to the team. And he's very consistent too, so he'd be a guy who probably fall around. He won't be I don't think he'd be a first or second round pick, of course. He'd probably like a third, maybe fourth round pick type of guy. You can probably get. I think the Steelers, the way they get set up and the way they build receivers, I think he'll fit well in our team and our scheme, because Steelers love receivers like that. Receivers who are just exceptional route runners, who are also physical and good contested catchers as well. So he'd be a guy who will fit right in too. And I think he can play with any quarterback because he's very quarterback friendly, being that size of 6'2". And finding his guy and always having good IQ of knowing where to sit in the zone for his quarterback to see him. So he's a guy who I add on the list as well. I think he'd be a nice addition to add. Let me move on to my next person who I have on the list as well, which is a cornerback from Kentucky. And the next guy is a cornerback from University of Kentucky, Maxwell Hairston. The cornerback, he's 6'1", 186 pounds, run a 4.48 in the 40. While watching his play style, he one of those cornerbacks, the new era cornerbacks. They all like have long arms, and they play physical as well. They have good hand placement, and he was a guy who I seen, he was a ball hawk. He was able to jump up and make plays. He kind of like he had receivers. I don't know if he played receiver before, maybe like early on in high school or something like that, but he has the abilities and those tendencies because he can now track the ball well and jump up and contest stuff as well. And he also has like I mentioned, long frame, solid tackler as well. He wasn't afraid to, they have him in the slot sometimes. He'll blitz in and make some plays in the backfield against the running back, not afraid to tackle and not be afraid to be a blitzer. And also, he's a versatile player. Like I was watching too, I wrote some notes down as well. He can play. I see him play his zone coverage and be patient. You know, sometimes when you play the zone, it can be impatient a little bit. You're like, okay, I'm gonna sit in the zone. You see something happening, something kind of drawing up, a guy running by, you're like, okay, I sit in my zone, And some players try to break off and like run that, and it kind of opens up more space. And smart, you playing a smart offense, they'll find those little gaps and stuff. But he was patient. He was very consistent, being patient and jumping when necessary and breaking off routes and playing man-to-man, probably his strongest suit actually. I think his best feature. Him being physical, his hand placement, having long arms, help him to be able to contest catches and to stay with receivers and keep a hand on them and stuff like that. But sometimes cornerbacks like that, like we got JPJ on our team, they're good at covering, but they do get penalties sometimes as well because they get very handsy and stuff. But overall, he's a nice player, and he had a high motor too as well. I've never seen him like kind of like shy off a play, or when I watch his film, see him like, oh, he's walking, he's kind of jogging away. I've been watching a lot of University of Kentucky. University of Kentucky, of course, Georgia. I always watch Georgia. Georgia got a lot of people, especially from previous years who I wanted the Steelers to draft. Javonte Davis. I wanted the linebacker they had there as well. You know, like they have a lot of different guys who just like pretty good. Keely Ringo, I think, was a nice piece as well. He's on the Eagles, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But he had a lot of pieces, you know, from Georgia. So I watched Georgia as well. But this year I started watching more University of Kentucky a little bit. I've been seeing some guys. It's the guy Barrion Brown, who I like a lot too as well, who I'm gonna discuss later in this video. But yeah, they had some pretty nice people over there. I like Maxwell Hairston was pretty nice. He stood out a little bit. I haven't heard a lot of people bring his name up a lot in a sense, but I do like his potential, his ability, especially the Steelers do might need another cornerback as well. See the injuries that keep happening. Corey Trice, he's getting injured. He has potential to be solid in this league, of course, with the Steelers. And also you look at Dante Jackson injuries as well. JPJ, for the most part, he got banged up a little bit, but he's been playing. He hasn't missed a game yet, so it'd be great to add another guy in. It never hurt to have another cornerback. Like linebackers and DBs are two positions that you can never have enough of. You can never say, I have too many linebackers, I have too many DBs. No, you never have enough of those because some guys can do certain things other guys can't do, and it always injuries that happen because they're doing so much on the field. So those positions that you can always load up. I think Maxwell Hairston would be a great addition to the Steelers. So that's my third guy. So let's move on to the next guy, which is running back like that. So we're gonna dive into that right now. Okay, the next one is a running back, of course, from OSU, Oregon State University, of course. This one right here, I seen an article. It was I seen like last week. So the video right here, I'm probably making it a week ago, but I'm making it today, this week. But I seen on an article, it was saying like the running back saying Ollie Gordon the second, he gonna be Steelers to draft him like that. I see somebody raving about him. I'm like, let me see, we gonna check him out and see. And I was looking at some of his film and stuff. I was like, he's pretty nice. He's standing at 6'2". He's 223 pounds. He ran a 4.4 in the 40. He's a guy who's consistent at just making plays, consistent breaking tackles as well. Like I never seen him go down on first contact. He was able to hit the gap hard and strong and shed tackles all the time like that. People touch him, he just break a tackle like that. He was very good at doing that. Powerful running back. He kind of remind me, dare I say, Nick Chubb. I'm not saying he's Nick Chubb, of course, but his running style reminded me of Nick Chubb. It's just ferocious. It's ferocious in a big burst. He get through like that and to make things happen. His footwork is very good, immaculate. He can like jump cut and still keep that speed and maintain that power. Got strong legs as well to drive and keep pushing forward. He's a solid hand. He's a solid catcher as well too. Got some nice hands. Go out there and catch up the backfield. Good at ball security as well. I think he only got like what, 1 or 2 fumbles his whole college tenure. So he's a pretty solid player and a nice addition to add to the team. I think the Steelers looking at their running back situation. Najee, of course, I hope Najee stay with the team. Of course, he on pace for another 1,000-yard season. Najee's a good player, but add Jalen Warren, he's a good player too as well. But the injuries, he could get banged up. And Carter Patterson, he's the third guy we have. He's a little older, so I think they wouldn't mind replacing him with a young guy, Ollie Gordon. Ollie Gordon could maybe emerge to be a bigger piece, a bigger role in the offense. So I think having drafted him would be good. Maybe later round, maybe 4th round, 5th round, if you get opportunity to draft him, that'd be a nice addition to add to the team. But while watching and seeing, I didn't see a lot of him, but I seen a good amount of him, of his stuff. I couldn't find his film thing. I couldn't find his film fully his full games. I want to watch full games. I've seen only the highlights of his stuff, but I want to see like his full games to see how he kind of work and stuff and move. So I'm gonna have to dive into that a little bit more. But what I've seen from the highlights and stuff, I was like seeing a pretty good player. Kind of remind me of Nick Chubb run style. He was just ferocious and getting through the gap like that. Ferocious, just going through the boom like that and breaking tackles and just being consistent at doing that. So he was a nice player I saw, and I think I had to add him. I thought I had to add him to the list because he was very good. But the next one I have on my list is, I think, a receiver. I'm gonna dive into him right now. The next guy is a guy who I mentioned on this channel before. Is Barrion Brown. He's from University of Kentucky as well. Another University of Kentucky player. I've been watching him a lot. I mentioned him. I think I talked about him on the channel a few weeks back. Like the last time I did a video, he's just so explosive to watch. I had to add him again on this list right here. He's a explosive playmaker. He ran a 4.28 as well. Got that first class speed, but he also he's kind of similar. His play style is similar to that of Calvin Austin, being a deep threat, a speedster. People probably say, why would we get another guy like that? Because he's taller than Calvin Austin. He's 6'1", 6'1", running a 4.28. Like that. He's a better hands catcher as well. He's a guy who can run routes nicely. He's a kick returner, punt returner, can do different things. We've seen him utilized all around the field for University of Kentucky, and he's an explosive playmaker. He's a guy who consistently can get down the field and make plays at the next level to take top of the defense that's guarding him. So I think he'll be a nice addition to add to our roster. He's very explosive and just a nice player in general. So, I mentioned and raved about him a lot. Of course, the last time I did videos, I'm going to do too much on this video because you already seen what I said about him. But he's a nice player. I think he should be definitely a Steeler. The opportunity to draft him. Because we have, of course, Pickens, who's a physical guy, who's a number 1 receiver. But I think adding a couple myriad guys like that would be good. I don't know if Mike Williams is going to be on the team still, like I mentioned earlier in this video. But I would love to see Barrion Brown, on the team at that speedster, a guy who can play from the slot, who can play on the outside, can do a lot of different things for the offense. And it'd be very nice to see the Steelers have a guy who consistently can be a deep threat. So yeah, that's why I add him to my list at number 5. Let's move on to number 6. The next guy I have on the list, of course, is Daylen Fairchild, offensive guard from Georgia. As you guys know, I watch Georgia football a lot too as well. This year they've been a little shaky in some aspects. I think they still have an opportunity for the playoffs though. But we'll see what the committee does. But he's standing at 6'5", 315 pounds, and while watching him, good technician with his hands, placement, and the pass protection. He's did a very, very good job at doing that like that. Not holding and causing a lot of penalties. Just being there and having great technician. And he is a wrestler too, so he has good kind of balance and a good base too as well. When his get off is fast, when he get off when the snap is happening, he get off strong like that. He's very good at keeping the hand placement right, keeping it like this. Sometimes offensive linemen kind of have their knack because they're like. They're really like, they can keep the hands too hot sometimes where the referees can see some of the stuff. And, holding happen almost every play, but you want to make sure you keep the hands on the chest like this and kind of battle up like that where you're not pulling like they kind of just driving. So you're driving them like that, the penalty won't be happening because they're pulling this way or pulling that way and making a illusion of you holding them. But he was also have good awareness as well too. He can pick up blitzes. I've seen him too as well. They send blitzes in. He have good alert. Like, I know pick up blitzes. I ship one guy and get to the next guy and drive him, pancake him down, drive him down. He was always nice. It was nice to see him, and he's very athletic too and elusive. I'll watch him too as well. He was able to get to the next level. And Georgia does a lot. He got a lot of guys like that from offensive linemen they have throughout their time and stuff. Especially Marius Mills from last year, probably one of their better ones. Guys who are elusive can get to the next level. You'll watch them and you see like those big 300-pounders. They'll get one tackle down and then move to the next level. You'll be like, oh, they pulling the guard. He comes from right there. They pull the guard that way and have him run and be a lead guy. You're like, okay, this guy's crazy. Probably one of the best ones I've seen. He's not a guard, but You know, Trent Williams, of course, one of the best in the game, future Hall of Famer. You know, the way the 49ers use him and moving him different spots and having him be the lead guy. A lot of those linemen are very athletic nowadays. They can get to the next level, and he's one of these guys right here too as well. And the Steelers, I know they have, of course, you know, James Daniels. His contract does go up. He has Achilles tear that happened this season, though he's out for the whole year, of course. So we'll see how he looks, but it wouldn't hurt to have another offensive lineman add to the team, especially with the injuries that be happening. Troy Fairchild is a right tackle for us. Dylan Fairchild. You know, you have McCormick doing a good job right now. You know, of course, I didn't see Malu getting a little older, still doing a pretty solid job, pretty good job playing with the Steelers. And then James Daniels, like I mentioned, contract is going up, so we don't know if he'll be back with the Steelers and how he's gonna look because Achilles happened. So it wouldn't hurt to add another offensive guard, you know, guard in there, and then mix, especially a guy from Georgia who's been playing in a pro level style of offense and who's very versatile as well. So I like the way he played, I like the way he looked out there, so I added them to my list. Let's move on to the last person on my list, which is a cornerback, another one from Georgia. The last person on my list, of course, is cornerback from Georgia, like I mentioned, Daylen Everette. Daylen Everette, cornerback from Georgia. He's 6'1", 190 pounds, around a 4'3", 40 at that size too as well. Good frame, has good arm length as well to contest catches. Good in press coverage. You know, he had good technique and versatile defender. He was playing in man, he was playing in zone. I seen when people hit him in double moves, he was still patient, and he ran a 4.3. He has the speed and recovery with the arm length as well to recover. So somebody did get him on something. I seen a lot of times he recovered, got around, and then picked the ball off or got out there and broke it up, got a hand in there. He's very good like that, very good and patient at breaking routes and driving in as well too on the point of attack. He's a nice guy to add, and he's very versatile. You can put him in different spots around the field. I think he's one of those guys that's nice for the Steelers to have. Solid tackler as well with the good frame, good size he has. Almost 200 pounds and 6'1", you know, cornerback. Big cornerback to get passed by. Very good at press coverage, of course, because he had that power and strength and the speed to match most of the receivers too. And the way our division is set up, which Jamar Chase's, I don't see Higgins will still be here or not. We'll see what happens with his contract and stuff. But there's Zay Flowers and all the different guys in our division you got to guard against. He'd be a guy to have on the roster that'd be nice to add. Like I mentioned before, cornerback is a thing. Now, I did mention Maxwell Hairston. I'll probably take Maxwell Hairston over Daylen Everette. But if Daylen Everette was available, definitely add him. We definitely got to add one cornerback in the draft. I ain't saying add both of these guys, but we need one cornerback added. We need one receiver added. We need a linebacker added in the guard. These are the main things. Of course, defensive lineman, you can add those pieces too as well. Running back, like I already mentioned running back, yeah. But you can add defensive lineman as well. And maybe some other pieces you want to add, like a safety or something. I know some people mentioning that too as well, a strong safety. But overall, I think, hey, we're kind of pretty solid at safety with Sean Elliott doing this thing. He kind of locked up here for a while. I think he signed a 2 or 3 year deal. And then you look at KZ, he's pretty solid too as well, a good player. And Ninka, of course, free safety does his thing, of course. I know he hasn't been having the best year this year with all the flashy plays, but he's still a pretty good player overall. But I think adding a guy like Daylen Everette, who's versatile, who can play different positions in the secondary, and who also has that speed to match against some of the top guys and have the technique to stay there in front of them without penalizing them and to go step for step with them and and run a route for them. I think he'd be a nice guy to add to our roster. So this is my list right here, my top sleeper draft prospects. I'm gonna have some more guys coming in the future discussing those individuals, but these are my guys right here for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe for more content, and I'll probably see you guys. I'm dropping this video. I'm either gonna drop it today on Monday if I feel like it, if I finish editing enough time, or it'll probably be on Tuesday. You know, so wherever it is, I'll see you guys when I see you. But yeah, peace out.